Well, mounting opposition tonight to a federal court order calling for the release of 40,000 prison inmates in California. A panel of federal judges saying the state government must cut the prison population to ease overcrowding and to ensure proper medical care for inmates in California. However, critics say releasing nearly a third of the state's inmate population might put public safety at risk. Casey Wyan has our report.
California's prison system was designed to hold 80,000 inmates, but there are now nearly twice that number, 150,000 prisoners in state facilities. The prisons are so overcrowded, it's almost impossible to prevent violence, and infectious diseases spread easily. Medical care is not sufficient to prevent the unnecessary and wanton infliction of pain or death. And as of 2005, a California inmate was dying needlessly every 6 or 7 days. Those are the findings of a 3-judge panel that directed Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger this week to release more than 40,000 inmates over the next 2 years.
The state releases 10,000 prisoners a month. That's 120,000 inmates who are going out the door every year. And now the courts are saying, no, you got to let out another 40,000. Well, it isn't that simple, because almost as fast as you let them out, they're committing crimes, and so they're coming back.
State officials accuse the judges of exceeding their authority and plan to appeal to the Supreme Court. In the meantime, California has 45 days to come up with its own plan to reduce prison overcrowding, which lawmakers failed to do during recent negotiations to cut the state budget deficit. The judges say it can be done without freeing dangerous criminals by releasing and locking up fewer people with minor or technical parole violations. But advocates for crime victims want none of that, pointing to the recent high-profile murder of 17-year-old Lily Burke. The man charged with her killing is a parolee with a long criminal background.
Early release of criminals who have proven that they cannot follow the rules of society and who are released with no place to go and no way to make a living are just powder kegs, just ready to go off.
California's prison population exploded after several tough-on-crime laws were passed during the 1970s. Since 1980, California's overall population has grown about 2% per year, but the number of prisoners has increased at an average annual rate of 17%. The director of the Prison Law Office, which filed the lawsuit against California on behalf of inmates, says the ruling actually could be a win-win for the entire state. In his view, releasing some inmates will make prisons safer, reduce crime because prison conditions, he says, are related to repeat offenses on the streets, and save taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. Lou.
So this is a good idea.
Well, in the view of the prison advocates, it absolutely is. But state officials and victims' rights advocates say absolutely not. You can't release more prisoners onto the street without compromising public safety. They need to find another solution, and that may include more money to build more prison facilities, which the state does not have right now. This was a difficult problem.
It's extraordinary to see Attorney General Jerry Brown, a well-known liberal, taking the position that he has. That has to give pause to those judges and certainly those who would be advocating against the state government.
Well, I think that becoming the top law enforcement official in the state of California will turn even the most diehard liberal into a law and order advocate, Lou.
All right. Casey, thank you very much. Casey Wyan.